I know this might be hard to accept, but as a consulting doctor, I've witnessed firsthand how certain foods and drinks, foods you might already love, have the potential to not just protect, but even heal your eyes while you sleep. It sounds almost too incredible to believe I understand, but let me assure you, based on my extensive experience with patients over the age of 60, I've come to realize something crucial. For many of them, the decline in vision doesn't only happen during the day, as we commonly think. In fact, the gradual deterioration often begins at night while they're simply resting. Let me ask you this. Do any of these struggles sound familiar? When you wake up in the morning, do your eyes feel gritty as though they're filled with sand? Or perhaps they feel uncomfortably dry and parched, like they haven't had a drop of moisture all night. Does your vision seem cloudy or hazy, especially during the first hour of the day? Are you constantly squinting just to read your phone or the newspaper, even though everything appeared perfectly clear just the day before? Or more troubling still, have you noticed a deeper, more persistent frustration creeping in? Have the vibrant colors around you started to look dull, almost muted? Do streetlights or headlights appear, surrounded by a strange glowing halo, making night driving more difficult? Maybe like many others in your age group, you've even begun to avoid driving at night altogether. Let me tell you something important. After we hit our 60s, our eyes don't just get tired as they used to. They begin to lose their natural ability to heal and repair themselves during sleep. And this is where the real problem lies. The damage to your eyes isn't happening just during the day. It's accumulating while you sleep. And each night without proper rest and nourishment is a missed opportunity to restore your vision. Most people are completely unaware that this deterioration is even taking place. What's even more concerning is that by the time many of my patients notice more obvious signs like difficulty seeing in dim light, chronic eye fatigue, or the early stages of conditions such as cataracts or macular degeneration, the damage has already set in. It's as if your eyes have been silently crying out for help all along, but we haven't been listening closely enough. And now, here's the part that gives me hope, and why I'm so determined to share this information with you today. I've discovered that there are simple, all-natural soothing teas, likely ones you already have sitting in your kitchen cupboard, that can do so much more than just help you fall asleep. These teas contain powerful compounds known to reduce inflammation, improve blood flow to the retina, and even protect the delicate nerves in your eyes while you rest. And the best part? You don't need a prescription for any of them. You don't need to invest in costly eye drops or load your cabinets with expensive supplements. All you need is a simple cup of bedtime tea. In this video, I'll walk you through 4 specific teas that not only promote peaceful restorative sleep, but also offer therapeutic benefits for your eyes. I'll explain the science behind how they work, when the best time to drink them is, and how one of them, the last tea I'll reveal, could be a total game changer if you've already started to notice a decline in your night vision. If you're new to my channel and you're seeking expert-backed holistic guidance to support your health, I encourage you to subscribe. I share practical physician-approved natural remedies like this every week. Now let's dive into our first tea, an unsung hero that has brought clearer, more comfortable eyes to many of my patients. I'm talking about chamomile tea. Most people view chamomile simply as a mild, soothing drink to sip before bed, known for its light floral flavor. But what if I told you that this seemingly modest herbal tea possesses an extraordinary ability to promote profound eye repair overnight, just by improving the quality of your sleep? Allow me to explain. After we turn 60, our bodies undergo certain shifts. We produce less melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating our sleep cycle, and more cortisol, the hormone that triggers stress. This imbalance results in sleep that is lighter and more fragmented. We tend to wake up more often, and we spend less time in the critical deep sleep phase, the very time when cellular repair and detoxification are at their peak, not only in your body, but in your eyes as well. Here's a key issue that doesn't get the attention it deserves. When your sleep is disrupted, your eyes are often the first to show the consequences. The cornea doesn't fully rehydrate, inflammation begins to build, and the delicate blood vessels nourishing your retina remain constricted. This essentially starves your vision of vital oxygen and nutrients throughout the night. This is where chamomile tea plays a pivotal role, and why it's so much more than just a bedtime beverage. Chamomile contains a compound known as apigenin, which binds to GABA-A receptors in your brain. This helps to calm neural activity and encourages your body to enter a deep, restorative sleep. No grogginess, no side effects, just peaceful, uninterrupted rest that provides your eyes with the critical time they need to recover from the daily stresses of bright lights, screens, and environmental strain. But there's more. Chamomile also serves as a natural anti-inflammatory. It works to reduce the levels of circulating cytokines. These are the inflammatory molecules that contribute to chronic low-grade inflammation. This is vital because inflammation around the eyes, particularly in the eyelids, tear ducts, and small capillaries can prevent the delivery of essential nutrients and block moisture retention. This makes it even harder for your eyes to repair themselves. Furthermore, chamomile acts as a mild vasodilator, which means it helps to slightly widen your blood vessels. This improves blood flow to the microvessels at the back of your eye, resulting in better oxygen delivery, more nutrients, and more effective waste removal, all happening while you sleep. The outcome, you wake up with less eye strain, reduced puffiness, and far less of that gritty burning sensation that often makes it difficult to open your eyes in the morning. I recall a patient of mine, Linda, who was 68 years old and used to describe her eyes as feeling like stinging sandpaper every morning. She began drinking just 1 cup of chamomile tea before bed, and within 2 weeks, she reported to me, "Doctor, my eyes actually feel comfortable when I wake up." I had completely forgotten what that was like. Now I want to be clear. Chamomile isn't a cure-all for every vision issue, but it creates the perfect conditions for your eyes to rest, rehydrate, and heal naturally. The best part, chamomile is safe, gentle, affordable, and most likely already sitting in your kitchen cupboard. Now, while chamomile supports the eyes by soothing the nervous system, the next tea I'm going to introduce operates in an entirely different way, by directly enhancing the blood flow to the retina. Let me explain why fennel tea is an essential ally for aging eyes and what makes it so remarkably effective. Fennel tea is often underestimated, with most people associating it merely with digestive support. But if your eyes have been feeling fatigued, dull, or even slightly dimmer, especially by evening, this tea could be exactly what they've been craving. I'm talking about fennel tea. With its slightly sweet licorice-like taste, fennel has a long-standing reputation for easing bloating, indigestion, and cramps. Yet what many fail to realize is that fennel is a powerful circulatory herb, one that directly benefits the very blood vessels nourishing your retina. As we age, circulation can quietly diminish often without us realizing it. Here's the key point. The retina, the essential layer of cells at the back of your eye that detects light and sends visual signals to your brain, requires a constant, abundant flow of oxygen and nutrients. Even slight reductions in this circulation can lead to quicker eye fatigue, a decline in night vision, and over time contribute to accelerated degenerative changes. Fennel contains natural compounds like flavonoids and anethol that work to relax the smooth muscle walls of your blood vessels, ultimately improving the oxygenation of deep tissues, including the small blood vessels that supply your retina and optic nerve. To put it in simpler terms, if chamomile acts like a calming blanket for your nervous system, fennel works like a traffic-clearing force for your bloodstream, ensuring your eyes receive the critical fuel they need to repair while you rest. But fennel does something even more profound that many people don't realize. It also strengthens the connection between the gut and the brain, particularly through the vagus nerve, which plays a vital role in both digestion and sleep regulation. When your gut is at ease, your brain follows suit, and when both are calm, your body enters a deeper parasympathetic state, which is the optimal condition for rest and repair. This is why fennel tea isn't just beneficial for your stomach. It creates the ideal environment for full-body relaxation, deeper sleep, and improved blood flow to key areas of your body, such as your eyes. Several of my patients have shared with me that they drink fennel tea when their eyes feel foggy, especially after long hours spent in front of screens or reading. Others have told me that it helps alleviate the dull ache behind their eyes, a sensation many experience as they get older or after periods of fatigue. Now, fennel won't provide instant results like flipping a switch, but drinking a warm cup in the evening can over time gently and gradually restore the circulation. Your eyes need to function at their best. If you've noticed that your vision seems to fade a bit after sunset, or that your eyes feel heavy and drained by bedtime, fennel tea may be working quietly in the background, gradually reviving your eyes with each restful night. 1 cup at a time, it helps to bring your eyes back to life while you sleep steadily, improving their circulation and functionality. But we're far from done. The next tea I want to discuss derived from a small, dark berry that was used by British pilots during World War II, could very well become your secret weapon for enhancing your night vision. Allow me to introduce you to bilberry tea. There's a well-known story about British fighter pilots in World War II eating bilberry jam before their night missions, claiming that it improved their ability to see better in the dark. While our understanding of that story has evolved over time, the underlying principle still holds true. Bilberries, especially when consumed as tea, contain powerful compounds that significantly benefit the health of your retina, particularly the cells responsible for low-light vision. Now let's dig into why this is particularly vital for individuals over the age of 60. One of the earliest and most frustrating signs of aging vision is a condition known as nyctalopia, or night blindness. The difficulty seeing clearly in low-light settings, such as walking down the hallway at night or driving as the sun sets. This happens because the rod cells in your retina, the cells responsible for detecting movement and contrast in dim light, begin to weaken over time. These cells become less responsive, slower to adapt to changes in light, and more vulnerable to oxidative damage. This is precisely where bilberries' remarkable benefits come into play. Bilberries are packed with anthocyanins, a type of antioxidant that does more than just reduce inflammation. It actually helps regenerate the purple pigment found in your rod cells, the very pigment that's essential for your ability to detect light and darkness. But the benefits of anthocyanins don't stop there. These powerful compounds also fortify the capillaries in your eyes, the tiny blood vessels that supply your retina. This means less microbleeding, improved nutrient delivery to your retinal tissue, and more efficient waste removal, all of which are critical for long-term eye health. You might be wondering, why drink the tea instead of simply eating the berries themselves? Here's the key. When bilberries are steeped to make tea, their anthocyanins are released in a highly concentrated form that's far easier for your body to absorb. The warmth of the tea enhances this process, improving circulation and making the compounds even more bioavailable, meaning your body can make the most of them, especially during the restorative time while you sleep. I remember one of my patients, George, who was 73. He hadn't driven at night for over a year due to his worsening night vision and the glaring headlights from oncoming cars. After he began drinking bilberry tea just a few nights each week, it wasn't long before he noticed a difference. A few weeks into this routine, he shared with me, "Doc, I walked to the end of my driveway without a flashlight, and I could actually see where I was going." He wasn't claiming to have perfect night vision overnight, but he had regained a meaningful level of contrast, experienced a reduction in glare, and had regained the confidence to navigate the night. That's the real promise of bilberry tea, not an overnight miracle cure, but a gradual, steady improvement in the very part of your vision that often begins to decline first. Your ability to see in low-light conditions. This is why bilberry tea isn't just a nostalgic remedy. It's a science-backed approach to enhancing the health of your eyes, helping you reclaim the clarity you've been missing after dark. Now let's turn our focus to something perhaps even more insidious: the pressure and stress that silently yet steadily damage the optic nerve. Have you ever noticed the constant tension that seems to accumulate inside your head and behind your eyes day in and day out? That's where our next tea enters the picture. It's soothing, it's calming, and it's specifically recognized for its unique ability to protect the delicate nerves within your eyes. Let's take a closer look at lemon balm tea. Unlike the other teas we've discussed, each of which works in its own specialized way. Chamomile, helping you sleep. Fennel, boosting circulation, and bilberry, enhancing night vision. Lemon balm operates on a deeper level. It works primarily by calming the nervous system, alleviating the constant internal tension that so many of us experience, and shielding your eyes' fragile nerves from stress-related damage. It may surprise you to learn that many common vision problems in older adults, especially those such as elevated eye pressure, optic nerve fatigue, and heightened sensitivity to visual stress, are exacerbated by something that we often don't associate with our eyes: chronic anxiety. Here's why. When your body is under stress, it activates the sympathetic nervous system, putting you into what we call fight or flight. This causes your pupils to dilate, your blood vessels to constrict, and your cortisol levels to surge. Over time, if this state persists, it becomes your baseline, your new normal. This chronic stress begins to take a toll on the tiny blood vessels and delicate nerves that support your vision, particularly the optic nerve. This sustained low-level stress is a key contributor to increased intraocular pressure, reduced nerve conductivity, and even accelerates the progression of degenerative eye conditions like glaucoma. That's where lemon balm makes a real difference. It contains compounds like rosmarinic acid and terpene, which have a remarkable ability to balance the GABA system in your brain. This helps regulate your mood, ease your anxiety, and most importantly, allow your body to shift back into the parasympathetic rest and digest mode. When your body enters this restorative state, blood flow to both your brain and your eyes is restored. The tension in your facial and orbital muscles eases. Your eye pressure stabilizes, and your optic nerve is given the ideal environment it needs to heal, recover, and maintain its health. But there's more to it than just the science. Many of my patients describe lemon balm tea as their emotional exhale after a long, exhausting day full of overstimulation. Traffic noise screens and the endless stream of worries. It's more than just a tea. It's an opportunity to slow down, quiet the mind, and reconnect with your body before you settle in for the night. Here's what's truly fascinating. Research shows that people who regularly consume lemon balm experience not only better quality of sleep and fewer nighttime awakenings, but also report a noticeable reduction in sensitivity to light and glare, a common issue that tends to increase with age. So while lemon balm may not directly fix your eyes, it does something even more crucial. It nurtures the very foundation your eyes rely on. It safeguards your nervous system, promotes healthy blood flow, and restores a state of calm that is essential for true healing. Because the reality is this: while nutrients and circulation are vital to eye health, the true healing also happens when your body feels secure enough to begin its natural repair process. If your evenings are filled with rushing, if your mind races as you try to unwind, or if you find that your vision seems to worsen when you're anxious or overwhelmed, then lemon balm tea may be exactly what's missing from your nightly routine. Here's the most important point. When you incorporate all 4 of these teas into a rhythm, not by mixing them in a single cup, but by creating a deliberate weekly practice, you form a nightly ritual that is far more effective than simply using them individually. In the next section, I'll walk you through how to transform these teas into a simple 5-minute evening habit that not only restores clarity to your vision, but also brings peace to your nights. Now that you've come to understand the benefits of chamomile, fennel, bilberry, and lemon balm teas that support your sleep and overall eye health, you may be asking yourself, how exactly do I incorporate them into my routine? Do I need all 4 teas every night? Should I combine them? How much is too much? Allow me to reassure you. You do not need anything complicated or overwhelming. In fact, the simpler your evening tea ritual is, the more likely it will become a habit that your body, nervous system, and eyes will come to depend on and look forward to each night. Here's the approach I recommend to get started. Begin by choosing one tea to drink each night. Yes, just one. Each of these teas works best when allowed to do its work without interference from others. For example, you might start your week with chamomile on Monday to help your body sink into deep restorative sleep. Then on Tuesday, consider fennel, particularly if you feel your digestion needs soothing or if your eyes are sluggish due to poor circulation. Wednesday could be your night for bilberry, which supports night vision and nourishes the retina. On Thursday, introduce lemon balm, which helps quiet your mind, release built-up tension, and support the health of your optic nerve. By Friday, you can either repeat the tea that gave you the most benefit or simply listen to your body and choose what it needs. For brewing, I recommend using a heaping teaspoon of dried herbs or a high-quality tea bag. Steep it in hot water for 8 to 10 minutes. Be sure to cover the cup while it's steeping. That helps preserve the essential oils that contain much of the therapeutic benefits. Once it's ready, sip your tea slowly, ideally 30 to 45 minutes before you plan to go to bed. And here's the key part. Transform this process into a ritual, not just another item on your to-do list. Don't rush through it. Brew your tea, find a quiet spot, dim the lights, and allow this moment to send a clear signal to your body. The day is over and it's time to rest, reset, and repair. Some of my patients find it helpful to jot down a brief list of things they're grateful for while sipping their tea. Others prefer to take a few minutes to stretch, practice deep breathing, or even apply a warm compress over their eyes. You don't have to do any of these things, but the more intention you bring to this moment, the more powerful and lasting the effects will be. After a week, pay close attention to how your eyes feel the following morning. Are they less dry, less gritty? Do bright lights seem less bothersome at night? Are you falling asleep more easily or waking up fewer times? These subtle shifts are incredibly important, and they indicate that your body is responding, not to something harsh or forced, but to something gentle, consistent, and nourishing. You are not pushing your body to heal. You are inviting it to. And in my 30 years as a doctor, I can tell you this. It is the small, loving invitations repeated night after night that led to the most profound and long-lasting transformations. So yes, just 5 minutes each night is all it takes to create the time and space for your vision to heal, for your mind to quiet, and for your body to finally rest the way it was meant to. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Something from the heart for anyone who's ever felt their vision slipping away and wondered if it's simply too late to do anything about it. Allow me to speak directly to that concern in this final message. If you've made it this far, I want you to take something truly important to heart. Your eyes have been with you through every step of your life's journey. They've witnessed your moments of triumph and sorrow. They've read bedtime stories to your children. They've watched the world shift with the changing seasons right outside your window. They've quietly shed tears during hard times and sparkled with joy in your happiest moments. And perhaps recently they've begun to feel a little tired, a little less sharp, as if they're fading. But I need you to hear this clearly. You are not powerless, and it is not too late to restore your vision. Even now, your body still has the remarkable ability to heal. Not through force or overexertion, but by providing it with the right environment to recover. One small ritual at a time, one peaceful evening after another. A warm cup of tea, a quiet moment of reflection, and the space to rest deeply so that your eyes can wake up to a new day, feeling refreshed, nourished, and ready to see clearly again. You deserve that. You are worthy of waking up and experiencing the world with clarity, not just through your eyes, but with a renewed sense of peace in your heart. And if no one has told you this recently, let me say it now. You are doing better than you think. The very fact that you're here taking the time to listen to learn and to take care of yourself in meaningful ways is a true reflection of your inner strength. You are showing up for yourself, and that matters deeply. I want to sincerely thank you for sharing this time with me. It truly means a lot that you've allowed me into your evening, even if only for a few minutes. If this video has resonated with you in any way, I'd be grateful if you could like it or share it with someone you care about. And if you'd like to keep exploring gentle, natural ways to support your health as you age, please consider subscribing to this channel. It would be my privilege to continue this journey with you. Finally, if you've tried any of the teas we've discussed, or if you already have your own ritual that helps your eyes rest and rejuvenate, please leave a comment below. Your story may be the very thing someone else needs to hear. Take excellent care of yourself tonight. I'm wishing you clear, vibrant vision, restorative rest, and a heart that is filled with tranquility.